Bought this today for, let's see, what did they pay? It's going to Ohio. $16.28, $4.16 shipping. I'm boss. Just asked my wife. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer here, Thursday edition of the Crazy Picker Life. Well, this is a work on my business day. Once a week I take a day to work on my business rather than in it. However, I'm in this morning just to finish up a few orders that came in. We had kind of a flurry of orders late last night and early this morning. I want to make sure those get out. I'm going to cap it off though at orders that came in before 7 a.m. I'll get those out today, and then later on today I'll be working on my business. I've got a couple things scheduled and going on already. I have a meeting this afternoon with a CPA, pretty good one, the best firm in the area. I'm going to meet with them for an hour just to talk about the future of our business and the taxes and structure and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that this afternoon. I'll talk a little bit more about how that goes after. And later I'll talk a little bit more about our current rental situation and how that's going to line up with the building of our building. It's looking more and more like we're going to have to move out of here before we want to. And the choices aren't that great. So, lessons learned all around. I'm trying not to lose sleep on it, but I don't like choices when there's no good choice. Those things do happen in business. I've faced them many times before, so I'm just going to have to make a choice as opposed to a good choice. The better of the two. It's not always fun. All right, so I'm going to get these orders packed. A couple other miscellaneous things. Get back and get my school done for the day and get myself focused for this mega meeting with my tax person. Back soon. Well, this is one of my favorite belt buckles I'm having to give up here. Somebody bought this today for, let's see, what did they pay? It's going to Ohio. $16.28, $4.16 shipping. I'm boss. Just asked my wife. What are we watching, guys? Which Bible story was it? You don't know? They were in Egypt and it was some singing kitties, weren't there? Yeah, I know we started you out with, let's see.
Egypt.
Yeah, something about the 12 Tribes of Egypt cartoon, right? You guys are all ready to go back out in the cold. I can see that. I told them it was time for snacks, and so they got all their warm wear on. You guys came and helped me pack this morning for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ready for some snacks?
Yeah.
No?
Yep.
Yep. Hungry? Super hungry?
Mm-hmm.
My kids never get hungry. Oh my goodness. Kids are always hungry. You could feed them lunch. Right, Elizabeth? You could feed them lunch, a good lunch, and then 15 minutes later, is it time for snacks yet?
Yes.
You never say that, do you?
Nope.
Growing. Super food bill. It's worth it.
I'm in kindergarten.
You're in kindergarten? Let's go get some school done, huh? Back in the office after supper, and as I might have mentioned before, this is a work on my business day. I both like these days and I find them really challenging. I haven't been what I would call creative in designing a business for a long time. I've sort of followed either a system. When I was working in my direct selling, I had a system I followed, and I had a couple jobs in there, and really this eBay business, to a certain degree, I mean, what do? You buy stuff, you list it, and you pack it. And so really thinking about moving it to the next level, how some of the pieces are going to integrate, bringing more people in. It's daunting. It's a change of pace for me. I'm having to really, turn my brain back on. It's still there. The brain is still there, but I'm really having to turn it back on. So I hear Wheeler just showed up here. He might poke his head in here. We'll have to talk to him a little bit later. Unless he pokes his head in. He was doing some Spanish homework. Okay, so I had this meeting with a tax pro, and my wife attended as well. We met for about an hour and 15 minutes. And in reality, what we've been doing for the last 6 or 8 weeks, really getting our books organized, just straightening out a lot of bookkeeping and record keeping, and just getting things tuned up. We're heading in the right direction. We've got some things to talk about, and we've got a few milestones to hit, and sort of a game plan. It's going to play out over the next year or so. I'm not really going to talk about bookkeeping and tax advice and structures and things like that. That's sort of private, and it's between myself and my wife, and actually Wheeler is involved in this future of this business, and my accountant. But I will say this: I came from a family business where I did all the bookkeeping and the taxes and a lot of the purchasing and all the stuff that money, payroll, everything. And I did that in a growing business for 10 years, and that was part of my job. And although it was busy and stressful at times, I was younger then, and that's just what I did. When I got into my own businesses, I transferred a lot of that knowledge. But in the last 5 years in my eBay business, I went from being fairly organized to being completely bad hair day, bad organized with my bookkeeping. And what would happen for taxes is I would get around to about January, February, and I'd start saying to myself, boy, I've got to organize last year's stuff, And it would turn out to be, March and April before I'd get it all tuned in. And sometimes the last week before taxes are due in April, I'd be cranking on it, and it would be painful. So what we're really doing is we're getting the bookkeeping so that it's month by month. We have numbers to look at. Everything is categorized. Everything is filed. Everything is auto-paid. Everything is streamlined. We're working towards that, and it feels really good. And I'm glad I'm able to give that up to my wife, Lon, because I just don't have the interest in it, and I just don't want to do it, and I don't have the energy, frankly. I've got too many other things that I've got to keep my hands on, and things that I have to do, and I get spread way too thin, which is partially why it got neglected until the deadline, more or less. Now, it doesn't mean I wasn't keeping records. I have a fairly streamlined, record system, but it would be considered mom and pop, and it would be considered pretty basic. And the business grew and got more complex over the last 5 years. And so really we needed a good tune-up. So we do have some changes coming. in the next year, the way we do payroll, probably our business entity structure, probably the way that we separate all our accounts, all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting and it's moving in the right direction. I'm trying not to be overwhelmed by it because it doesn't seem like it's taking too much to overwhelm me. Now, what has been bothering me today and yesterday and recently has sort of continued to head in a bothersome direction. And I'm trying again not to let that get to me. But our place that we rent here, what I would like to do is just be able to be here and then move to the building, right? Well, I got lax on that, and it's looking more and more like this buyer is going to buy the building and they want our side. And so we're going to be most likely given an option, and that option is going to be moved to the other side of the building, which has some challenges, or move out of here, which has some challenges because we're not really ready. So I've got to wait a bit until, this thing gets further along. I'm going to talk to my landlord in the next couple of days and see if they got an offer in. I think they did. And then it takes a while to get an offer accepted and the financing done, the paperwork done, all that. But it appears to me that they're on the fast track, and it appears to me like it's going to happen. So, without too much speculation, moving to my house again, it would be tight, tight, tight. Could we do it? Yes, but boy, it would be tight. We just don't have the space we used to when we used to work out of the house. Things have been moved around. Things have been turned into bedrooms. We have, when we moved out, we had 2 little babies. Now we have a 5 and a 6-year-old plus 4 other kids. I just have too much stuff. Some things would have to go in non-climate controlled in the garage. We don't have any really set up like storage units here that are climate controlled. There might be another rental that I could maybe do some of that with, but moving straight to the house, it would save some money, but it's got a lot of challenges space-wise. Not to mention, you get back to the idea of everybody wants to see you all the time, and being around the house and all that, there's a lot of downside. We also have a thing called a man room, which would duplicate our living room at home. So we'd have 2 TVs, 2 sets of furniture, 2 refrigerators, 2 freezers, 2 coffee bars. Oh my goodness. So that's option 1. Option 2 would be to move out and go somewhere else. That's not that great. I don't even want to talk about that because it just doesn't make much sense. Option 3 is to move to the other side, which the way it's looking like, it would be similar or even a little bigger space, but it may be cut in 2 pieces. In other words, it'd be a front, and then you wouldn't be attached through the building to the back. You'd have to actually go outside. It doesn't have full central air. It doesn't have great central heating like this is set up over here as an office. One place has some sort of like a wood stove, and another one a pellet stove, and another part of it has like just a boiler heater sort of, and then it has like an air conditioning unit in the wall. I think the back space has central air, but I'm not positive. The other downside is whoever's buying this building, I think this is going to be either a primary or a secondary location, and they want to live here in a makeshift apartment at least part-time, if not full-time. I don't fully understand that or know that for a fact, but just imagine having your landlord on site, or like your grandma or something. This is like a grandma lady, and we're here late at night. You think I want to be quiet all the time? You think this building doesn't have noises and sounds? Oh my goodness. That doesn't sound like any good. So that's got all kinds of challenges. Now both of those better options, if you want to call them that, are temporary. I did not want to be on the fast track for my building. I wanted to be on a moderate track so I don't, crash my business, and so I don't go insane, and so my cash flow is a little more manageable. So that does have me stressing. Could I have done it different? Could I have signed a 12-month lease? Well, I could have, but it didn't work out, and this thing sold so fast. So shame on me, but it's too late now. Now, if this deal somehow falls through, which I hope it does, then our landlords will allow us to sign a 12-month lease, and we should be able to put some things in there that would uphold somebody buying the building. They'd have to honor the lease to keep us in the building and keep us on the side. But like I said, I think it's probably 90% sure it's going to go through. I'll know more soon. So that kind of has me down and kind of stressing a bit. I mean, I'll make it through it. We'll make it through it. There's no doubt about it. It actually sounds like it's on the fast track, which means in a couple weeks we could be moving. I've got a 5-day vacation scheduled at the end of the month. I really don't want to be under the pressure at that time either, so I've already booked it. End of the month family vacation. All right, so we'll keep you posted on that. There's really not much brainstorming or discussion. One of the interesting ideas I came up with is maybe I could have the garage on the other side and store my inventory, do my packing, and put most of my stuff there, and then go back to the house and bring totes back and forth and list there. That's not bad. The downside is they may charge me a premium just for that piece, and I'd have to have internet of quality at both locations, and I'd still be paying utilities at both locations. So the savings is, negligible. But again, I mean, that just may be the way that it goes. All right, so I'm not going to babble on about that, but if I seem kind of preoccupied on this show, and who knows, I've got that going on. Tonight I'm going to be looking at moving the building project forward. I have to streamline and make sort of a let's get it done chart. Here's the order of some of the things that I need to do. I need to do some of that. I've got some just minor bookkeeping things like making a list of addresses that I need to change since we changed our street address at home. That's coming into its own. We had to change our corner lot from one road to the other so we could make our yard a backyard, and then we can put a building in it. Paperwork's done. We just have to follow up and start changing things so we don't get into this weird forwarding type issue where there can be a week delay on mail. There's Wheeler. Did you get all your homework done?
Yep.
In the office?
Yep. Been here for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I heard you come in. We'll come talk to you a little later.
Yep.
Oh, I don't think I've got much else going on. I mean, things like the inventory project and getting that all squared away are still there, but more what I'm being forced to think about is like inventory reduction project. That's a whole different deal, I don't want to move everything if I don't have to. So certainly if I can put a little more bump in my sales or something like that, that would be good. Hey, I'll answer a question on the fly here. A viewer asked, why do we run sales at 11% and 13%? Well, every percentage counts, and so the minimum you can run an eBay sale if you have the store manager or whatever the heck that thing, markdown manager, the minimum is 11%. So in the camera business, we try to get a bump in search results by running a sale, and we have the sale thing on there, 11% off. It's the minimum sale you can run. I feel it's the most bang for our buck. 11%, all the gears are turning, it's on sale, woo, woo, woo. Why do I run a 13% sale in my Northwest Kansas? I don't know, just doing different sales over the years, I've settled on 13%. I get a fairly good bump in sales every time I run it. I've tried 20%, I've tried 15%, I've tried 11%. 11 doesn't seem to haul as well as 13 or 15 or 20, but I didn't really notice any difference between 13, 15, and 20. So I went for 13, and it's just like one of those things I do now. Okay, let's see if there's anything else going on that's worth talking about right now. Not really. Just some minor things. I think I've got a USPS lost package to deal with, an international package. I'm going to probably refund this person and just close that out to get that off my desk, and just ask them if it comes to them to have them contact me. Many people are honest. I've had 3 or 4 come back to me and say, hey, I finally got it. Here's your money again. So I don't have a problem with that. This one's been a couple months, and it doesn't even look like it left the United States, which could mean it missed a scan somewhere. Is that a sale? It could be an ending item. I've been watching some beer items. No, it's an ending item. They're warning me. Your item is ending. Quick bid. It's not something I really wanted. Oh, I'm a little down. I haven't been hunting beer stuff even. I'm just, whatever. So let's get excited here. I do have one thing I want to show. Just sort of a thing that I've been doing. I did get a beer shipment in. Now I've been in the Rare Beer Club. That's something new. I'm not so sure about the Rare Beer Club. I think I mentioned in my other episode that I'm not sure I'm a Rare Beer Club guy. I enjoy the idea of it, but the actual rare beers themselves, one was super heavy for even me, and the other one was like eating a green leaf plant or something that's supposed to be ripe. It was like unripened. It was kind of So let's see what we got here. These have not let me down too much. We've got Ipswich Oatmeal Stout. The Ipswich Ale Brewery, naturally brewed, and I don't know where it's out of here. Massachusetts. Ipswich Oatmeal Stout. That sounds pretty good. I get 3 of each of these to try. And here is Wells Sticky Toffee Pudding Ale. Now that is certainly odd. 5% alcohol. Wells Brewery. Out of United Kingdom. So that is an international brand, Wells Sticky Toffee Pudding Ale. I'm interested, but that sounds pretty crazy. McKeown's, established 1856 Scotch Ale. Now there's an 8%er, so that one oughta sting a little bit there. That's going to be a good one. That is United Kingdom as well. Brewed and bottled by Charles Wells, imported by Belkis Marketing out of Texas. That one sounds interesting to me. I like the looks of that. That looks like a Scotch ale. That's good. And here are these ones with the no bottle caps. These other ones all have Bottle caps, those are always interesting. This is the Vertical Drop Robust Red Ale, Canna Creek Brewing Company. Never heard of any of these. Complex Malt Driven Ruby Red Ale, balanced by something. And that is Colorado. Interesting. Never heard of Vertical Drop Robust Red Ale. All right, so I get one of these shipments a month. It's, let's see here, monthlyclubs.com. I'm working with them on getting a free beer thing. And so I guess if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. Supposedly, if I have the right code or something, and somebody wants to get a 3-month membership, you can get a free half price on one month. So that would be like a free 6-pack of beer for trying the club for 3 months. And I get a free half month, which means I get a free 6-pack of beer. That sounds good to me. I like free beer. So I'm trying to work that out, but I haven't been able to get through to them to verify how it works. So if that's something interesting, stay tuned. That might be coming, right? Free beer for everybody, including me. There's nothing better than a free beer, right? Of course, the club itself does cost something, but hey, whatever. So I will chill those and have some ready for the upcoming week's relaxation time. Now, my other club, the rare beer club, is a couple of those big bottles, and that also comes once a month. I think it's like every other week I'll get one of them, and that's all I'm doing right there. I'm going to give the rare beer club one more try and see if I like the bottles they send me. If I do, I may continue. If I don't, I'm going to discontinue it and either pick up another club with some other choices, or just stick with this one, and that'll be it. But, you know, open to further review. Okay, so we're going to talk to Wheeler in a little while. I'm going to get started on some things. I don't think I have any orders. Our orders, for whatever reason, died about 2 o'clock today. I think I have one or maybe two, now that I think about it, small ones, but I'm sure that will pick up. It's kind of strange, actually. It's really slow, strangely slow. I'm not worried. It happens every once in a while, but rarely do we ever go more than 2-3 hours without an order, which keeps it exciting. That keeps me going, you know. Okay, I'm going to go work on my business for a bit. Back in a little while. Okay, well, hey, I feel a lot better. It's a couple hours later. It's about 10 p.m. Well, I got sort of a game plan for the building going. Got some plans of action, some steps that I need to take. I need to get a few quotes and contact a few people to do some building stuff. Need somebody to clear my lot, get it level. And so I need to get somebody out to give me a quote on that. I need to also move a power pole temporarily, so I need to get a hold of the city on that. And a couple other steps. Check out builder's insurance on my homeowner's policy. So I was able to get down to brass tacks on that and actually get some bite-sized pieces in an elephant project. That feels pretty good. And what else did I do? A couple miscellaneous things. Got some more bookkeeping stuff together for Lon, and she likes that when I give her that stuff. We're getting much closer to being like live every day, every week. Every month, have a real solid handle on the business. I will like that too. Flying by the seat of your pants is great when you're doing good, but it'd be better to know where we're at. Much better anyway. Much more precise. You know, she works with a professional firm, so the stuff that will come out of this will be like A grade. That's what we need. A grade, and I ain't doing it. That's what we need. And then the thing that made me feel really good, I decided, you know, I could start listing, even though today's not supposed to be a packing day, not supposed to be a listing day. What I did is I forced myself to start working with my inventory. And it, you know, it's got to be part of any inventory plan is to go through once every however many months, years, and just get rid of the old crap. You know, triage it, throw some away, lot some up, look things up, make sure they're still listed. I threw away about 5 or 6 items that I knew were dead stock. That felt good. I also found some other items that weren't listed that I need to list up that, you know, it was like finding 2 $20 bills. So that's all right. Pretty easy lists. Just need to do it. So I'll list those in the coming weeks. There were some sandals. I bought like 300 pairs of shoes a few years ago and sold all of them on Amazon and otherwise. And I have some kids shoes. These are Chaco brand or whatever. They're nice shoes, 4 pairs. That'll make a nice lot. And then we're off season for kids sandals, but I've got 4 pairs of those. So, you know, $20 I'm sure, plus shipping. Those will sell. Those are expensive shoes. The kids ones, I never got around to listing too many of those. So, oh, what else did I do? I found a few items that weren't listed that I listed again on Amazon. I found a few things, like I said, that I threw away. I had something sitting here that just had been bothering me that I didn't want to list ever. I threw that away. So my thinking process is I need to start spending some time, probably daily, doing this, because any way you slice it, I'm going to have to move this office within the next 30 to 90 days, it's looking like. I mean, there's an outside chance that I won't have to, but I better start paring it down or I'm going to end up moving it, and I don't want to move it. So that felt pretty good starting on that. It was mostly painless. It was easy work. I could, you know, relax and just back and forth and do it. So that's good. I'm going to do a lot more of that. I'm going to do some more listing too. I got to move some things out. I also repriced a couple items, some things that just time has passed them by, and even though they're the lowest price on Amazon, nobody wants them. So what I did is I looked around and found out how dead they were, and I marked them way down. Hopefully they'll go, and that has to be done too. Not everything's a winner, and some things just have a carrying cost, whether it's an intangible cost or if you're listing them over and over on eBay. Our Best ID still charges me 5 cents a listing after so many per month, and so there is a cost associated with that, not to mention confusion, shelf space, and a bunch of other things. So on my way. Let's go talk to Wheeler a little bit, and then I think we're gonna wind it down. I've got a couple other things I'm gonna take care of, just sort of as fun things, but let's see what Wheeler's up to. There he goes to the chair. Oh, that's not him.
Oh.
How's it going? You don't have to sit down.
Yeah, as well. I want to do it.
I like to sit down because I'm old.
I like to sit down because I've been standing all day.
So tell us about your new running habit.
Running habit, 3 days in, 15 minutes per 2-mile run so far every morning at like 8:30 a.m.
So you're getting out by yourself.
Yep. Difficult to get out of bed a little bit. Once I roll out of bed, I run right out the door.
So you're trying to get up and going in the morning, and you're getting a run in.
Yep.
So it sounds like you're running too fast to like clear your head though.
That's like my just normal stride pace. Like I could run a lot faster.
Is it dark out?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, I go
Both
with.
legs up.
I've been going with the boys, and we go slow, and they're not challenged much by that. But I like to run with them on the road. They're just not
Yeah.
quite ready for it.
I think the 7:30 is about my flow pace right now. Like that's just if I go out, I can just flow at that pace for an indefinite amount of time.
Yeah,
That's about it.
if you go with us, 7:30 would kill us, and
Yeah.
you would not be challenged. We just say goodbye to you right away. So
Ah.
I guess that's where you're at.
Forget what my pace was in the 5K, but I'd be curious to know.
Well, I thought your time was like 21.
Yeah, I was right there.
So it's like 6:45 or something.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's my race pace, and my flow pace is like 7:30. I can just. I
yeah.
feel like I do that for a 5 mile.
Well, I think your race pace is close to your flow pace because you're not really in shape.
That's part of it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're in shape, just regular, like running for a couple months shape. You'd be in the 18s.
Yeah.
That's just what
Definitely.
that's what I think.
Yep.
And the sky's the limit. If you want to run 10 minutes and be the world record holder, why not?
I think Brady's gonna stick to about the same pace here.
3:33 miles. You don't think you can do that?
I think I'm just gonna stick to 7 mile pace.
Yeah,
I think that's
well,
the
there's-
thing. If I go 10 miles at 7 mile pace, that's a crazy goal right there.
Yeah, I am planning to run the 10 miler this year. Maybe you can do that too.
Yep.
I'm eyeballing your what are those called?
Yogurt cranberries.
I'm eyeballing your yogurt cranberries over there.
I have a new filmmaking project that I'm doing every Wednesday. My
Just
wristwatch
hang on,
Wednesday
hang on. I
Friday.
think you promised me some of those,
Yeah, you
right?
can have some.
Okay. New film project.
Film project wristwatch Wednesday. I just kind of like I've always enjoyed reviewing stuff, and I kind of wanted an outlet for my creative stuff there. So I kind of started doing the series once a week to review some sort of wristwatch.
Okay,
First
so
week was kind of
wristwatch Wednesdays on your channel.
yep.
And what is this setup here?
It's a time lapse setup. I'm gonna have it run for about 4 hours. Every 5 seconds, it takes a picture, and I should compile that into like a cool thing where the thing goes around the dial.
Okay,
And
so they
like
can
that.
see all the movement.
Yep. So spin.
So you're experimenting with time lapse. Now you do realize that when you're spinning over there, your legs are hitting your
No,
there, huh?
no, I made sure this is all separated, and even if I hit this, I probably wouldn't do anything.
Okay.
Yep, should be good.
All right. What else is going on?
Alright, first episode of that wasn't exactly like super high quality, but I have a feeling it's going to keep improving. It's kind of a work in progress thing. The first episode was kind of on a whim,
Right.
so it should get better.
Well,
and better.
you and I are two different types of filmmakers, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
I pretty much just slap it together and just count on the content, pulling it through, not worrying about the cinematography. I think you worry more about the content and also the cinematography.
yeah. We'll be a photographer. I have I don't know if you call it, I guess, obsession with trying to find the right compositions and stuff to kind of
I would call it
have visual-
obsession.
have some sort of visual
Yeah.
thing in there.
Yeah.
Which obviously I'm not fully outfitted to do that 100%, but
But are you ever?
No.
I mean, is anybody ever?
oh, absolutely. Yeah, the right editing software, the right cameras and everything. You know,
I see.
movies, Hollywood movies.
Well, I see.
Yeah.
I've set my sights pretty low.
Yep. This phone app makes it really easy to do time lapses, though. You just set it up and then I plugged it in here.
Sure.
Should just
Is that your new phone?
yeah.
I see.
Yep. Time lapse software on there is free and it's amazing. Used it quite a few times.
Yeah.
Works great.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of amazing photographic equipment at your fingertips.
Yep. Though if you need to buy an expensive camera, I guess the phone costs a lot too. So that's what they figure.
Yeah, a perk of working here, right?
Yeah.
Did
there
you get a new phone?
Yep.
How much did it cost?
$800, $1,000. I don't know what those things
Yeah,
cost.
something like that.
Somewhere in there over the next year.
Yeah,
2
plus a
years.
monthly cost.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Heavy.
you're like a premium employee here.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, there are some perks. All right. Well, I'm just visiting. I see your listing, and you told me we're good. You know what I did tonight?
What?
It's not about me, but I'll get your feedback. I went through, I don't know, 5% of our shelves or something, just
Yeah.
that first shelf area. And I looked some things up. I threw some things out. I relisted some things that weren't listed right or weren't listed, and repriced a couple things.
Yeah.
That felt really
Good.
good.
Things out. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing another dumpster dive with dealer.
Well, I threw out some old plastic Coors flags that
Yeah, I
haven't
see
been
those
listed for a year,
Yeah.
but I thought, oh my goodness, I might use those someday. And then I threw out the rest of those slide holders because we sold 50 of them, and I'm not going to make a lot of 5 of them.
Yep.
I threw out a couple of crappy racing jackets
Yeah.
that are never going to sell, and
It's not camera stuff.
No, well, just the slide
Yeah.
holders. There's some stuff that I still am very suspect. I did throw out a slide from a magic lantern.
Oof. Man.
We've had it for 2
Like
years,
this colorized
dude.
one?
Nah, it's a real
It's a
basic.
random
It's
one.
just a
Okay.
dumb one.
Yeah. There's a colorized one. It's still listed for 30 or 40 bucks. I forget.
Yeah,
It's
no.
been up there for a long time. But
Well, that's the thing, and so how long can you hold on to stuff? The stuff.
yeah. Pictures might be
To me,
subpar.
I mean, if we have something that's priced. See, the thing is, when stuff gets down to $20,
Mhm.
it doesn't get price reduced anymore. But a lot of that stuff, if you sell it for less than $20, it's not worth dealing with.
Absolutely. Yep.
So here's the deal.
There's definitely stuff to throw out on there.
Oh my gosh,
Better than
there's
that.
plenty of it. But and then I find some stuff that's not listed. But
Yeah.
if something's been in our inventory and it hasn't sold since 2014, it's highly suspect.
Yep.
Wouldn't you agree?
Pictures, description. There's a couple of things, but yeah, for the most part.
Just the hassle factor.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to keep moving
Absolutely.
forward. So part of what I'm thinking is that we're probably moving out of here soon,
Yeah.
and I don't want to pack and carry the stuff like that.
I moved all my cubes home, so preempting it.
Well, a little at a time and thinking about it's not a bad idea.
Yep. With my new room, then I'm going to put up a few shelves and kind of strategically place some stuff
Yeah.
in there now.
How many totes of stuff personal do you think you have in this entire facility?
30?
No,
More than that.
I'd say more than that.
Yeah. Well, I asked my sister today, hey, can I just have half your room to fill up with totes of stuff? And she just kind of blew me off. But,
Yeah, I'm sure she was interested.
well, I mean, I
in it.
took out like 2 totes of stuff out of her room the other day because I used to store stuff in there. She has this giant room, bigger than anybody else's, but
Well, that's
kinda funny.
that's what you get for being a girl in our
yeah,
house.
perks of the job, perks of the living.
Yeah. Well, you could try to give me a better idea.
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Well, you could rent part of her room.
Yeah. I was thinking, well, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
She doesn't really need the back section of it.
She'd probably take some rent.
Yeah.
I think you should just throw out a bunch of your stuff. I know
I'll
that's
look at it. I'll consider it.
I know that's painful.
Definitely consider it. But there's some stuff in there that I just can't. Like these collections here that I have, those aren't even the cream of the crop.
Well,
as
we're
far
not
as
even
stuff.
talking about that.
Yeah. Oh, you are? I mean, all
Well, the
cameras
stuff
in the
that's
back
out.
room.
Well, yeah, but you have like 6 or 8 or 10 totes of them.
20 or 30.
Yeah, well,
About 20 totes of them.
we talked about that.
Yeah. Yep. So to figure that out.
You're overflowing with stuff, Wheeler.
I don't know.
Hoarder at 17.
Just need a 50,000 square foot office and I'll be fine.
Well, as long as
Up,
you can,
up it a little bit from the last one.
as long as you can pay for it. Yeah,
Yeah, wasn't my
that
last
people
quote?
people like the title of that video. Wheeler needs a 1,500 square foot
Yeah, that's what I
office.
thought. 1,500. Now it's 50,000.
Yeah.
Exponential numbers now.
Yeah, you get that when I'm gone. You can have my little. I'll have like two totes of stuff. I'll hand off to you, and you'll already have your 100,000 totes.
Yep, most kids were like playing with Legos at 7 to 12, and I was building offices and floor planner that are 50,000 square feet.
Does anybody realize that Wheeler's awesome, but there's also a downside here?
Yeah.
Can anybody sense it? He's a hoarder, folks.
No, not really.
We really only need a 300 square foot facility, but because of Wheeler, we have to have
Well,
this
the funny thing is,
2,000 square foot facility.
my mindset is I like to either, like if I'm ever going to go and buy an apartment, I want a micro, super nano, super efficient apartment, or a giant mansion. Either one. So I don't know what my mindset is exactly. It's like hoarder and the opposites, both extremes.
That's because you can't go without.
Mm.
I mean, you either have to have 0 or all.
That's it too, yeah.
Yeah.
All or nothing. I mentioned to dealer my hobbies the other day and how it's ridiculous. When I get into a hobby, I accumulate an insane amount of stuff very quickly.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I do watch collection by Rubik's Cubes. I went through them. I have 200 and some Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah, I know. I saw you buy them all.
This is crazy.
So the real question, here's what we're heading towards, just so you know.
Yeah.
You got your little room at home, which you share with Banana Peeler. You got a roommate. That's one of your personal areas?
Yeah, I know a lot of room there. I can put a bunch of shelves, just really thin stacked. But
when we get to the new office, you're going to have a nice size office. Woo! That's going to be your second personal area.
Yeah.
And then you might have a little small area in the garage for some of your...
shack.
No, well...
Shack outside somewhere else.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to move off site.
Yeah.
You know, a storage unit's only $100 a month or whatever.
Not the size I need, man.
Oh, you do pretty...
50,000 square foot storage units aren't that cheap nowadays.
All right. I'm going to have to end this.
Yeah, it's a little bit late. You can tell, late night when you realize.
Yeah, are we going to make it? I doubt it.
I'm going to end up right now, actually.
Yeah, whatever. It don't matter. We don't need any prizes anymore. We can't put anything new in here. We're in limbo. We're in limbo until some of these things settle out. When you're moving a facility and there's like 3 or 4 moving pieces going on, yeah, limbo. We're gonna make it. I've got, for the most part, a positive attitude. I also have a realistic attitude. I think I've mentioned this and maybe I've proven it. I also have one of these abilities to take a hit, rebound, and come back for more. Oh my goodness, that's where I'm at. Bam, get back up. Okay. Tomorrow is Friday, listing day, packing day, hopefully, if anybody buys anything. It's been abnormally quiet. I don't know. Weird. It rarely happens. I have to look things over before I go home. I believe we have sales running. First of the month. People are reeling from their last weekend, apparently. Everybody's catching their breath till tomorrow. Not worried, but it's weird when it happens because it's so quiet. Okay, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. We will have another daily entry into the vlog world tomorrow. I believe we're going to do our question and answer on Saturday, along with sort of a month wrap-up show. That's about it. Tomorrow, if the weather's nice, and it may be Saturday, we're going to go out on site and take apart these 4 Pepsi signs that I bought too. I don't think we're going to have real nice weather this weekend, so I think I'm going to pass on the idea of going picking with this other dude. I should probably consider striking while the iron is hot, but then again, with all this other stuff going on, I don't want to keep accumulating. So I've got to come to some sort of a mental picture of what's going on here. Hopefully that will formulate itself soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. And apparently YouTube is ditching people off, so you might want to check at some point if you are subscribed. If you've tuned in after a while and you don't seem to be getting any notifications that we're putting out videos or whatever, YouTube might have kicked you off. And I wouldn't mind if you resubscribe. That'd be awesome. We'll keep it going. Pick well, list often. Dealer is out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.